Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live. Welcome to another episode of Detour Essentials. This is our third season. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, welcome. You can follow us on all our platforms at Ready to Emerge on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and we are here every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So, hi, guys. How are you?
Hi, Kat. Hi, Rashid. Welcome home, Catherine.
Thank you, Naya. I'm very happy to be home.
A long time you didn't go on,
Long time, but it wasn't my
I
choice.
honestly thought you weren't coming back.
Yeah, Mama kind of like
You think you have to run off.
Gone.
Hi, Kathy Lee. Hi, Alicia. Welcome.
Oh crap! I actually forgot Rachelle wasn't here last week. So when Alicia's like, "Rushie's back," I'm like, "What is she talking about?"
Welcome back.
It was the last one, Catherine.
Yeah, it was just the two of us that last one. And last week we were out because
Yes.
we were acknowledging
Ash
Ash Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep. So for those of you that don't know who we are, I am Kathy Goodall. I am a connector of brands, businesses, and people, and I'm a part of the Emerge Trio. Welcome.
Hi guys, I'm Naomi Garrick, also known as the PR Chick, and I'm the founder of Garrick Communications, a boutique PR agency here in Kingston. And I'm also a personal branding coach. And essentially, I help individuals and brands to stand out in a noisy world. Rush is frozen, but she'll be back in a minute, guys.
Okay, she's back. So let us know where you're joining us from. We always want to know where you're joining us from. So please share with us. Let us know where you are. We see Florida. Everybody's welcoming Rushy back.
Rachelle was missed.
Yeah, she definitely was.
And she'll be back with her intro in a minute. You know how these things go, technical difficulties.
So this year has been filled with a lot of loss for a lot of us. And so we just want to take the time to acknowledge two people that have really impacted us. Well, three. Today was actually the viewing for Luton Shelton, who was a national football player and an amazing human being. And Stephanie Scott is somebody else that is very dear to all three of us.
Yes.
That we lost this week. And Greta Bogues, who was the interim CEO for the PSOJ. So we just want to take the time to acknowledge them.
Yeah. It's definitely been a rough week.
Yeah.
Not sure what's happening with Rush tonight, guys, but I see some new people joining us for the first time. So welcome, guys. If you are joining us for the first time, this is Emerge Detour Essentials Live, and we are the Emerge Trio. We're here every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, streaming live on YouTube as well as on our Facebook page. Wow, it's just me now, so I'm filling up the entire screen. And essentially what we do is every single week, we have amazing guests that join us on this platform to share a little bit about their journey. And while they're sharing about their journey, they also provide us with some great actionable next steps and some great advice on how we can implement some of their own personal strategies in our everyday life to be better individuals. So we're really, really excited about the guests that we have on tonight. We actually have two guests because we started this new segment called our Emerging Entrepreneurs, where we highlight some great entrepreneurs that are doing amazing things in their individual spaces. So tonight we're actually going to be featuring two female entrepreneurs. And welcome back, Rachelle.
Yeah, when I was frozen, was like my teeth skinning or anything weird?
No, you're actually like this, very pensive.
Okay, good. I was just a little concerned about my frozen look. Okay.
So Rush, you can do your intro.
Oh, hi everybody. My name is Rachelle Cameron. I am actually an attorney at law. That is my very first love. And I get the opportunity to do the things that I love to do, including people development, communications, and working with both these amazing women, Kathy and I, in Emerge. I'm also CEO and founder of a boutique consulting firm that focuses on legal, HR, and communication matters, and it's called Prescient Consulting Services Limited. Da.
Launched in the middle of the pandemic.
Listen, it still says
Can't stay enough. It's the new setup for me, Rush. Loving it.
Yes, Rachelle is recording live from her Prescient Consulting
studio, exactly.
You can show off.
It's okay. I can come with my own now because the 2 of you have forcing me to step up my game.
I literally just changed location in my office to give it like a newish,
A new feel.
a new feel.
But Nai, just to point out though, your hair has a little something going on with it. You know, it's very
with the short hair, we have to, do things to make it look,
yeah, it's very hot. But guys, I was telling you backstage earlier that I had just been reading about the differences between people. And one of the differences is people who like to take baths, like luxuriate in a bath, and people who like to take showers. And amongst the shower people, there are short shower people, crisp and in and out, and there are persons who luxuriate. What are you guys? I'm a shower person. You don't have to, I think something's wrong with my brain. Like,
oh my gosh, we're getting into some juicy stuff, Rachelle. Well, but I can tell you in the meantime, I'm definitely I'm a shower person, but I like now I wouldn't even say warm. I like hot showers, and if I have the time, then I'll stay there for a long time. But I do also love a luxurious bath, which doesn't happen very often because I really don't have the time.
And you have such a great
bathtub. If I do have the time, I'll do that for sure.
Yeah, you have a great bathtub. I'm definitely a shower person.
Okay.
I think it's just because I'm always going. So it's like the thought of taking a bath doesn't occur to me ever.
But like a hot or a cold shower?
Warm.
Okay.
Yeah, warm.
Okay. I know Rachelle had one more question and she's gone.
Yeah. Slow.
No, yeah, we don't say that.
I caught myself.
Hi, Rush. So we'll throw the question back to you.
We answered, so we'll throw the question back to you, Rush. Are you a shower or a bath person?
I'm a shower person, but a long shower with piping hot water that fogs up everything. I hate tepid water because it's kind of hot. And I actually I don't luxuriate in a bath. I always wanted to be a bath person because bath people are so sexy. They luxuriate. What are you thinking about when you're sitting there? Is it that my mind can't slow down? Because I'm bored.
Do you have any bath people online? Because everybody so far has said shower. Are there any bath people online?
I mean, Rush, you have to just still your mind. Sometimes I'll take my Kindle. Mm-hmm. I'll read, or sometimes I just relax. But I honestly don't get to do it very often. That is really the thing.
Okay, I think maybe something is wrong with me. But I think so. I'm a shower person, but with a bath mind. That's what it is.
Anyway, guys, we have some very exciting guests tonight, and so we definitely want to jump right in because these ladies are just amazing and there's just so much to share. So over to our expert announcer.
That's you, Rachelle, in case you didn't know.
She knew.
A few years ago, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So a few years ago, I had attended a special showing of Safida's fashions. And I love Safida. And there was this beautiful young lady there. And me get to know, so she named Tash. And so I thought, is Tash, I was like, is Tash short for something? Or is her name Tash? And in the middle of this time of just women gathered together, talking, laughing, it was a great time. And as Tash started talking and talking about her mother and the closeness they have, and she burst into song. And I remember thinking to myself, my God, Rachelle, if you could ever burst into song like this, people couldn't speak to
Shut
you.
you up.
You would be awful. You would be like so boasty and awful. And she was so humble. And I was like, that's why God made it. That you
God knows what he's doing.
God
He knows what
knew.
he's doing. So this amazing woman is Tosh Alexander. She is named after her mother's favorite artist, Peter Tosh, and is as unique as the name that was given to her. True to her Jamaican roots, the spirit of the Caribbean is undeniably captivating, and captivated in her music. She has teamed up with phenomenal producers such as Suku, Marlon Easy, and internationally acclaimed, because I don't know, Piaka person we're talking about, because when Tash is going international, we're talking about Pharrell, Busta Rhymes, Nicki Minaj, and Cool Andre, just to name a few people. And I know that Tash's fans are on, so welcome, Tosh Alexander.
Oh wow! I have to clap you. I have to clap you for that one. That was a really good introduction. I think easily one of my best intros like ever.
Everybody says that. Everybody says that when they come on the show. Rochelle. That's why we don't let Rochelle do the introduction.
No, I didn't even remember that we met there and that I did that until she just brought it up. Oh wow!
Now weren't you there? I was there. Now weren't you there?
Nope.
No, I met Naomi differently.
I
Naomi
met
Cruz.
on the Jamrock reggae cruise.
Yes.
That's where I met Tosh.
Mm-hmm.
So Tosh, before
Mhm.
we get into the music, right?
Mhm.
For the people that are meeting you for the first time or the people that only know you from the music industry,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to tell us a little bit about Tosh. Who is Tosh Alexander? From when you left Jamaica to go to foreign, tell us a little bit about the early days of Tosh.
Okay. By the way, I just need to let you know, I think every artist, if you were to ask them what is the question they dread, it would be this question, by the way. Who is Tosh? I promise.
Oh, taking us on your journey first.
Right. It's loaded. So okay. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I have to say that I'm actually coming to accept that, guys, because for a long time I denied being born outside of Jamaica. Okay. So, I was born in New York and then I moved to Jamaica. I did prep school there, went to Vaz, went to Immaculate for a little bit, moved to the States, and I finished my high school career in Florida. And after I did from college, I have my major in international relations and journalism. Then I went off to New York to pursue my singing full time. I was always pursuing music professionally from the age of 14,
Wow.
but I was able to do it full time after graduating. My father at the time said to me, because they were like, you have to stay in school. So it was this weird barter. I think after I graduated, because I committed to finishing school, then
Yes.
he was like, go to New York and I'll help you with your finances, everything. Just go pursue your dream. And that's when I made it like my full time. And I've just kind of been between New York, Jamaica, and Florida during this whole journey. People ask why. It's because I was born in New York and I have a lot of family there, and it's also a very beautiful culture creatively. Florida is very much home, just as much as Jamaica is, and they all help with my experience as far as like how I create my music and who I am. So I tend to have to be in all spaces to get that authenticity. It's kind of weird to explain, but yeah.
Now we'll talk about exactly that, the influence of your music and how that impacts the sound that you have. How would you describe your sound?
For a long time, I think that was very hard for me to figure out because, for a long time, we're from the space of labeling things. And for a long time, I felt like I couldn't particularly fit myself into a label. So I know I can sing. So, when someone say, Tosh, sing, I can sing and it can sound good. But as far as creating songs that resonated with me,
Yes.
to be honest, it was very hard because if you play a lot of my old songs right now, I may just cringe and I can't listen to it. I don't listen to a lot of my music. Catherine knows that.
You know, my favorite song is your very, very first song.
I know.
Ever sang for me.
And I think for a long time, the reason why I didn't like to listen to myself is when I was in America, I find that I would do very American-like songs, which isn't bad because I love R&B, right? But
Yes.
the producers at the time would just make very American pop R&B, and they didn't know how to really fuse the Jamaican culture. So I would just sing, and it would sound very poppy. And I remember going into studios and they'd hear the songs, but then they'd hear me speak and they're like, oh, there's a disconnect. Like, you talk like this, you sing like this, you know? And then I found that when I was in Jamaica, now they are throwing me on a dancehall beat and they're saying DJ. I'm looking like, I don't even know how to really talk and like, that's a whole real pato experience. Like, I'm gonna sound like an idiot. And by the way, I'm the truest dancehall fan. I like it real. I like the grit. I like it raw. And I know I'm not really for someone going on there sounding too prissy. So it was a really hard space. And I was like, why is it always so extreme for me? Why when I'm in Jamaica, it has to be like dancehall? And then when I'm in America, it has to be like pop R&B. We're trying to find a happy medium. And then there was this time in music in Jamaica that made me realize, wow, it could be done. It was the era of the Tammy Chin, the Chris Kellys, Alaines. It's when the music started changing, where I felt like, wow, I don't sound like them, but there is a space
in that space.
And that was the introduction for me. And I think from there, my journey in music, which is not easy to do for some, for others, it can be easy. For people like me, I can honestly say it's been hard to find my sound. To find a sound that I'm like, yes, this embodies everything about Tosh. I get to sing. I get to be real. Anyone who knows me, I can be like all proper right now, and then we're in the dance and like something with a heavy bass play, and where's Tosh on the ground? Like, I needed the balance.
So you're versatile.
Yes, and I think for a long time I was struggling to find that sound, and I'm very happy that I can say in the past 2 years I delved really deep into myself, and I've been able to do things that I love and I like, and not from the space of you should do it like this because they expect, because you look this way or you're from here, you should be doing it that way.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at now in my journey. I finally got to a place where I'm finished listening to this person and that person, and I'm just listening to my voice. Yes. And it's the best I felt about my music to date.
Wonderful. I would just need to pause to big up Juanita and Janetta, because those are Tosh's lifelines.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have my cousins.
Marcy and Errol, those are her lifelines, her cousins.
Okay, and just really quick, know that they're on here. So Juanita and Janetta are actually very, very important in a part of my life where, let me explain. So growing up in Jamaica, they brand me as this little uptown girl, right? And every summer I had to go to New York, and those two girls is who teach me how to wine, teach me how. No, they are no lie. They are who introduced me to the dance hall space. Mm-hmm. Like how you can be cute, but how you need to know for boss a little one wine touch. Like it's those cousins there, them. Like they had the whole the different hairstyles, the different outfits, because you'll find that a lot of the diaspora, not Jamaicans in Jamaica per se, but the diaspora cling so tight to the culture.
Yes.
They did. So big up to them right now. Tune in.
I love that.
Yeah.
So on that note, then, before I get into some other questions, what word would you use to describe your sound today?
I feel like the eclectic term is so overused, but I would just tell you it's a fusion of pop and dancehall / reggae elements.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the truth. I mean, people say eclectic, but eclectic could mean different sounds.
Right. And it goes back to your versatility, like you said earlier when you're describing the journey.
Right.
So, I mean, we use this word influencer very lightly. Everybody's an influencer now, which I mean, the reality is we all have influence in different ways, right? But with a following of over 35,000 on Instagram, you definitely are an influencer in your space. How do you feel about that term, and how important is your brand to you?
You know, it gets so weird sometimes. I don't know if it's this, it was mentioned earlier, this humble thing, but like I have this always, my music is one thing, but who I am as a person is very important to me.
Yeah.
I really work on myself. Okay. And on social media, I try to do that I try to share myself responsibly because I understand the impact. Because before I did not understand the impact. I'm like, yeah, people see me, they like it pics, but I'm not expecting that people know real details about me until like I'm just in a mall and someone says, oh, that time when you did that post about so-and-so, it touched me, and I'm looking like, what? Or someone saved, like screen recorded a post I put up and they're playing it back for me, like, I played this when you said so-and-so, or someone messaging me and say, I've been crying all day and I just saw your post and it was the best part of my day. I used to take those things very lightly. But I do take into account, as I said, music aside, an influencer is just someone that people can look to, regardless of the music stuff. They look to you on. I take it very seriously. I also know I have my young cousins watching me. I am an advocate at this point for people, but especially women and our young girls. And I feel like more than ever, since we do have a lot of influencers, there's pros and cons to it. There's a lot on social media. And so while I'm not perfect, I just, day to day, I take it very seriously what I post, how I speak, share myself, share personality, but still do everything with discretion.
And intention.
Yes, definitely with intention.
And I think that makes a big difference because, as you said, it's a big space. Anyone can be an influencer because it's really just someone that has influence. It could be over 10 people or 1,000,000 people.
Right.
But it's what you do, that influence and the impact that you have, that really matters. And I do follow you as well. So I know I see the posts and I see the things that you're passionate about. And you're not afraid to speak up and say, however you want to say it in your true, authentic voice. Yes. And I think that's something that people will respect and, appreciate, that you're not afraid to, speak your mind, even coming from the viewpoint of an influencer, as an artist, as a performer.
Gosh, it froze.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I think we're having a general internet issue in the so
an internet issue. Yeah, but I think a lot of us every day with everything we're doing, we're influencing. And one thing I just want people to take away from, whether it's a conversation, whether it's my Instagram, whatever it is, I have this new hashtag, the My Thing Different. And I literally live by it because it is. My thing different as far as my experience growing up living in different spaces. My thing different as far as I'm not a typical artist. I do some artists, maybe they're told or they're afraid to speak on other topics because it could rub shoulders. I'm unafraid. I'm speaking what's on my chest. If you don't like it, that's very nice. You don't have to listen, because I do believe even in this space, like social media, you learn who your tribe is. So you either like someone or you don't.
Yeah.
I get to see my market right away. They follow me if they like me. If they don't, they press the unfollow. I'm good. But at this point, I think it's very important for me to share all of myself. And I say it all the time. It's sometimes in this business, they just want you to be one way. Just shut up and sing. And that's never been me. I don't just shut up and sing. I like to speak my mind. I like to speak on issues, day-to-day issues impacting people, because the purpose of my music, you said intention, which is a very, very proficient word. Like, I tell people at this point, I realize my purpose in music or in life is to impact. And everything I do is with purpose, right? So whether I'm using my voice to sing a nice tune, I'm using that same voice to speak on things that ought to be shared and ought to be spoken on. Like, and I'm not going to stop because it's not palatable for music.
Yes.
So that's why I'm now running with the whole my thing different, because I'm not your regular artist.
Yeah.
You are not the regular artist, Tosh. And what I would also say is that you have a very sexy brand, right? Which is great. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So how do you see yourself aligning with other brands, or do you currently have any kinds of endorsements or brands that you work with apart from your own brand, which we're going to get to in a minute? And if not, what kind of brands would you want to align with as your persona continues to grow in this space?
Okay, so funny enough, in my day-to-day, ever since I've been young, and I need to tell this story because I just spoke on it the other day. Growing up, I was very insecure. I actually didn't think very highly of myself. I grew up in an all-white school. Leaving Jamaica in a place where a lot of people look similar to me. There's different shades, and she either pretty or she not, but no one's staring at you or not. Or, you know, like when I moved to the States and I'm in an all-white classroom, my look it's not deemed beautiful. It actually doesn't even matter. Like you're just there. So I went through, whether it's elementary school, middle school, of not feeling like I was attractive. I didn't.
Yeah.
And when it came to swimsuits, my cousins can tell you this. I remember going to Lime King Capri's, my bikini top and Capri's. I didn't show my legs. I never liked my legs. I didn't like the shape. I had a big rear at the time, and we're in a different time now. This looks nice, but you know, when I had a big rear as a young girl and I wasn't necessarily filled out hips wise, it was kind of awkward, you know. I couldn't wear skirts to school as my uniform because it would lift in the back, and it was something that kids would tease you on, and it's so stupid, the things that you think are a big deal but they're not now when you think of it. But going back to that, for a long time I struggled with how I looked, right? And I had to go to Jamaica all the time to feel normal again. Like, oh, you know, somebody goes, and I'm like, see, I knew it wasn't me.
To come and build back.
Because I'm normally existing in a place where I'm not going to be asked to the school lines. I'm not going to be asked, like, that didn't happen. Those things changed for me in high school. But my elementary to middle school to early high school experience was not like that. So I remember one day this girl saying to me, when we were changing to do creative, we had a performance and my legs were pale. And she's like, Tosh, like, why your legs look so pale? And I was like, oh, I never show them. And she's like, why? And I was like, cause I don't like them. And she's like, what is there not to like? And I was like, I just always wanted like bow legs with calves, and I don't have that. I have cankles, and my cousins see ankles, and I just feel weird about it. And she's really crazy. She's like, girl, those are your legs. Like, God gave you those legs. You can't give them back. And I don't know why, guys. I don't know why. Her name was Asia. I'll never forget. I was in the 11th grade. It took her to say that in that dressing room that day to unlock something. From that, you could not get me for cover myself. I wear battery rider. I wear battery rider everywhere. I tell people right now, if they make wedding frock in a battery rider, I wear it. I am telling you, from that moment, I said, forget that. Forget that. Like, no, own it. So when people bring up, oh, you're very sexy and it's interesting because, you know, day to day, I love to dress up. You can ask me to. I'm the girl that dresses up to go to the supermarket. That is your girl.
You need to pause and insert. Livy says, Auntie Tosh is fashionable.
Yeah, I love that. I love dressing up. My parents do, you know, they dress up like it's a thing. Yeah. But the sexy thing is, for a long time as well, if you check even my earlier music, I tried not to be too sexy because I wanted people to hear my voice. Yeah. And I was tired of people just looking at me because I looked nice. And then I was like, you know what, Tosh, kill it. You know, you got some looks, and apparently it doesn't last forever. Use it up. Like, so that's the space I'm in. There's some days I feel
love it.
I came on here today because I'm in a turtleneck, right? I'm in Florida. It's not even cold like that. I was dressed in all black today, covered head to toe. And tomorrow you might catch me in a crop top with some batty riders on. it just depends. But for me, confidence is important.
Yes.
So people say, like, you're very sexy. Thank you. What would I like to align myself with as far as
Yes.
brand? I would love a skin line.
Mm-hmm.
Skin. I love skincare, right? I want anyone with red lipstick. Red lips makes me
Awesome.
a happy girl. Okay, red lips gives me wings.
And that's a nice red. What are you wearing right now?
You know that I feel like somebody is going to ask, and I was going to have it by my bed to show you when I'm done.
Yeah, that's a nice red.
Yeah, it's Sephora. Okay, it's
like I feel like I need something. No,
mine is heavily pigmented and matte.
Yeah,
right? And it has a tint of blue, so it makes your teeth appear whiter. That's the trick with red lips. You need to find a blue tint. It makes it makes your teeth appear whiter.
Noted.
You're welcome. Right? So I want to get into skin. I want something makeup. Like, whether it's Dark and Lovely, they could, right now my hair is in a bun, but Dark and Lovely could give me something any day for me to show my, because I love the hair vibes, So anything with hair, I'm a girl. And then I do lingerie, swimwear. I'm for that too.
I can see in Fenty.
I can definitely see in Savage Fenty.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Me too. Definitely.
I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
Love it. Over to you, Rocky.
Yeah, I think one of the fantastic things is you talking to us about your own acceptance of your beauty.
Gosh, Rachelle, no. No, Rachelle.
Listen, no, something is going on though. I literally had to switch from my Wi-Fi at home to my phone. That's what I'm using right now for internet.
I thought she was back.
Rachelle, come back.
All right. Well, what I'll do, I'll continue with her until she comes back. Someone's asking if it's a Sephora matte lip gloss. Is that what it is?
It's from Sephora, but it's not a Sephora brand. It's actually, what is it called? Gosh,
we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. But what I was gonna say is, so a lot of people don't understand that being an artist is also being an entrepreneur, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it is a business.
Yes.
You are the brand, and you are the business, and everything that you do matters. But what do you think are some of the most important things for an upcoming artist or any artist to know about the business?
About the music business?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. As far as like being an entrepreneur,
or you tell me 3 things that you think are important for an artist going into this space or an upcoming artist.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a lot.
Yes. So listen here, Rachelle, we're gonna come to you because I want you to ask me questions. Okay, I'm not feeling this. Okay, it's not letting you be great, but you're gonna be great, honey. I'm telling you. Let me tell you what I tell people at the end of the day when it comes to when you're getting into music or getting into any industry. Make sure you're getting in it for the right reasons. People see this industry and think it's glamorous. It's everything but glamorous.
Everything.
Okay?
Wow. Yeah.
That's right.
It's everything but glamorous. Everything about it. I remember one day going to a show, rushing from one show and having to take a shower from the sink. And I was like, if anyone could see me right now. And I stepped up on the stage and I just took a shower from my sink. And that's just one example of make sure you're getting in this for the right reasons. There's nothing easy about it. And people say it's impossible because it's actually it's not easy, right? Yeah. It's challenging. So if you're coming in here for things, those tangible things, wrong space. Yeah. And time will eventually, you'll wither away. You won't last. The second thing would be I tell people this story too. From my Pharrell experience, when I met him, I was in a studio twice with him. And of everything that happened in those times, I think the one thing I remember is what he told me to never forget. He said something cheesy like, be yourself. And I was like, that's the best you got, Mr. Pharrell. At the time.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Wow, like that's like everything but profound at the time, right? And I finally get it. So there's so many things I could tell someone what to do getting in this industry, but what I'm going to bring it down to two things. Make sure you're getting it for the right reasons. But secondly, if you apply this, then everything else falls into place. It's my new thing. It's shared, and it's a new thing I apply. I pray daily for discernment. Discernment.
Yeah.
And they don't tell you that.
Yeah.
Really be yourself. They tell you you're supposed to know yourself. Half the times you're getting in this thing, you don't really know yourself yet. You grow.
Yeah.
So how are you supposed to know? Make sure you're on the right people. Well, I think I am. They are selling me dreams and I'm buying. But if I could tell my younger self anything would be, Tosh, even if you don't understand it right now, pray for discernment. Pray to know your voice. To know your voice different from other people's voice. To know God's voice and not like man's voice. And like the limitations they will place on you. I think that's what I would tell them. I tell them two things.
That's great.
And if you get to that place where you practice discernment, you commit to discernment, it don't have to be such a hard space. Because you'll know.
Yeah.
Because you already know. Thing is that you already know it's already there.
Yeah.
Right? You just haven't tapped in. And if they just teach you or tell you to tap in, then you will know that even though that could be something, it's not resonating in my spirit. Something's off.
Yeah.
Let me sit with it. Sometimes I don't even know right away why my spirit said no.
Yeah.
Something ends up showing me later on. So I just think it's very important for any artist coming in. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure it's passion and purpose driven. And secondly, when you realize that's the space you want to be in, you ask your source. You pray for discernment and you pray for guidance, right? And I can promise you, ever since I changed my prayer to that, around 2 to 3 years ago, my life, not just music, my whole life has changed.
Wow.
Right? So that's my little tip for that.
Awesome. Rush, let's see if we can get you to squeeze in a couple now. Before
Let me just ask like one, because it's a good thing I'm sure I had a glass of wine because it kind of is taking the edge off. Tosh, as I listen to you, and it's one of the things with this show is just showing us the breadth of people. We see people in a particular space and we label them in a particular space, just not understanding just the layers that we are. And one of the things is that you recognize that you are a business, that the brand Tash is a business and what you're doing is a business. And you've been expanding this business into different spheres and you've launched like a new business. So before we get into the new business, one of the things that just in terms of your own business tips, because you've given some great advice for persons entering the industry, but when you're in the industry, what are some of the things that you need to keep your head steady and focused on when you're dealing with the business of what you're doing?
So going back to just up to and I'm sure it happens now, but for a long time, artists were not supposed to really do anything outside of just sing and create, right? But now that we're in a space where there's merch and there's different ways for artists to make money, I tell people, even though it can be tedious, because sometimes it's very tedious for me, is that you need to read, you need to learn, you need to ask questions, right? And for me, my thing I've been telling myself, ownership is important, right? So when it comes to my stuff, I'm hands-on with every single thing. When you get something from me, I already know how it looks, how it smells, what it feels like. I'm a part of every process, right? So I don't just slap my name on something because it can sell. I slap my name on it because quality is important to me, right? You see my lipstick, this red not gonna come off, it's not gonna smudge my teeth because I made sure I got the best red lipstick. You get what I'm like? And the same thing I like to wear, if I'm giving it to you with my name on it, that's how I feel. So my thing is, you can't sell something you don't believe in, and you shouldn't be selling something that you wouldn't wear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you need to find out what you love, what is true to you, and then learn, research. And don't just stop when you do one thing. Expand, but learn the business part as well. As I said, sometimes it's very tedious, but I force myself now, Tosh, read. And if not, you need to, for me, it's expanding your circle. I have friends that do very well in other areas. I say, hey, I know you're busy, but can you get on a call? Can you just impart some of your knowledge here? I'm doing so and so, and I need help with this.
Yeah.
That is what I implore artists to do right now, because we're so used to, or we're crippled by this industry of like record labels and this person doing. Yeah, that's cool, but you can still handle things on your own. You know, be your own boss. You know exactly what
anymore.
Pardon?
You can't just shut up and sing anymore.
No.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
Well, glad Rachelle got in that one piece of a question.
I think it's important for us for people to understand that, especially now, we live in a digital age, and so for artists to own their own work and to manage their own distribution is something that is a lot more accessible now than it was before. You know, and so the fact that you talked about ownership, it's very important.
Yes.
So tell us about your new business that you started. Remember that this show is PG, so take time with us.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Is it PG? Is it a PG show?
Yes, it is. Go ahead, Tosh.
BNBC Lifestyle. That's the name of it. It's Black No
BBC.
Yeah, Black No BBC. Right? Hi, Rachelle. I love when you go and come back.
We know you like to make grand entrances, Roshi.
And grand exits too.
Yes, we're talking about Black No BBC. No.
Yes.
All right. So Black No BBC. I love it, Tissy. I do. It's just so inappropriate and offensive and proud, and I love it for those reasons. My mother.
Okay, let you say it one time.
Huh?
No. We'll let you say it one time.
I can't hear you.
We'll let you say it one time.
Black No Bomber Clot. Do you even hear that? Jesus. It's a nice scream. I love it.
But what is it?
Okay, so let me just tell you. My mother said she was at Price, I think it's Mega Mart the other day, one of the marts. But she has on a mask. She's wondering why the cashier is staring at her like this, like, until she realized lady was looking at her like, and she's like, oh, it's my daughter's brand, but she's like gleaming with this pride, and this cashier is looking like, this is real. And I was like, yes. Here during the pandemic in 2020, when the Black Lives Matter and the protests were happening, I was possibly the most stressed I had ever felt in my life. I felt emotions I never felt before. I didn't feel it. To the point it was like depriving me of sleep. I was crying. From heavy energies I was feeling. I don't know. And I just felt like I was so over throwing tantrums on Instagram. And I was like, what can I do? So one day, my friend, she's also my business partner, Simone Russell. She's probably watching. I'm surprised she hasn't dropped any fire signs in the comment section right now. But Simone Russell, her father is Compton Russell, and he was a Rasta in the 70s when that wasn't really a thing. You're supposed to be in Jamaica at the time. And so he did the protests. You know, he did protests back in the day. And so she has that spirit. She's from that space. So we decided we were going to go and participate in one of the protests that day. I went with her and her family. And it was like the most amazing feeling to me at the time. It was so liberating. I felt proud. I felt like I was helping. I felt like I was continuing something that like my ancestors started. It was, wow, what this rush of emotions I never felt. While this was happening though, it was like I watched her, she had her big hair out. I watched her dad. He was gleaming because he was protesting for the first time in like 20 years. And I watched her brother, tall guy with like some big long natty, just standing up and them have up them signs. And I just took my picture. I took up my camera. Oh, there goes some placement. Okay. All right, really quick. Yeah. And I just took a picture of them. And that day when I was posting it in my story, I black and white the picture and I did put big BBC Black Power. But when I did it, everybody responded in my story, like the comments doing this. It was like, it got a lot of reaction. And I was saying, this would be dope on a shirt. So I sent it to my team and I was like, hey guys, I have an idea. And they're like, oh, this could be really cool. And I was like, listen here, I want to do something and I want to use that word. Because in that moment, when I was feeling what I was feeling, I finally said, Tosh, like this is like my name means something in this moment. Because to be honest, for a long time, I was like, oh, my mother ended up naming me Tosh. Like this man did just never care about me. Cause like there's not like how, like, you know, like, and I feel like in that moment, I just took on that Tosh spirit. Like that's why I was like, I'm going to speak out. I don't care who it offends. And I'm going to go to these protests and I'm going to actually tap into that space. And they're like, that would be dope. And I just went on this site along with my other team member. We came up with the whole logo and we said this will look dope on a sweater or a shirt. But then I was like, guys, how am I going to sell this? Look at me, Tosh sexy, you know, sexy brand. She sings like pop music. This is me, you know, once again doubting myself.
Yes.
Right? So I'm just taking you through the journey of this. We came up with this in like the July. I sat on it. I was like, it would be cool, but maybe they won't like it. And then around my birthday time, I said to myself, I'm going to start doing exercises. It's going to be things that makes me uncomfortable, things out of my comfort zone. I'm going to do, like, I literally had it on my list. Like, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to tell them why I'm doing it. It's from a real place. I'm not faking. So real recognize real. If you like it, you will like it. If you don't, you don't. And I put it up that day. And my gosh, like the responses I got were, I mean, I think sometimes I'm really like in shock by the messages I get. It's one thing for people to wear it, but I have some people, whether they're Jamaicans in the UK, Jamaicans in New York, Jamaicans in LA, Jamaicans in Florida, that like, yo, I wore this sweater and I felt so great when I put it on. Like one guy was like, I wear it all the time. Like I wear it nonstop because I feel so good and I get the eyes, I get people looking. You know, sometimes it's like, wow, is he really wearing that? And he's like, yeah, it makes me feel so good. And that was the purpose of that. I got to the point where I wanted people to understand we are very comfortable with who we are. And I want to make something very clear because I've put it up on my page. Maybe I didn't speak on it or I didn't repost it. You know, it was only one time, but I want to say this. My cousin Juanita, she's on here. She posted a pic one day of her daughter. They're both, you know, very, very, very light. And she goes, the light brights representing for Black No Bumbo Clat, right? He said one time, sorry. Right? And I want to make this very clear. When I made that brand, it's not because it's supposed to be for, it doesn't mean you have to be black, no, like dark to wear this. You could be someone who is biracial. Your mother is black or your daddy is black or your granddaddy is black. But you're repping for your granddaddy. You're repping for that one party lineage that you are unapologetically proud of who they are, what they went through, what they stand for. That's what Black No Bumbleclad is. You get what I'm saying? It's to merge. We are so layered as a people that we cannot be represented by one sound, one voice. So that's why the Black No BBC is just for everybody in that moment to band together through this term. From we vary in shades. You get what I'm saying? It's reflecting right here on our screens. You get what I'm saying? So that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to make you feel good. It's a feeling, right? So, yeah.
Love it.
Thank you. I love it too.
So it's a line of products. It's not just clothing. It's also it's
a phone case, that's all mugs, all kinds of stuff.
Phone case, mugs, masks.
And they get it where?
Pardon?
Where can I find it?
Oh, do you have a link that they could scroll up, because it's bmbc.threadless.com. It's like
okay. So you send me the link and I'll send it out.
Okay.
Rashi?
Is she frozen? Yes, she is.
Rashi?
Oh man,
She's frozen.
All right. Well, Toshi, you know that you just released a new single.
Mm-hmm.
And first, before you tell us the song, I need you to tell us what inspired the song, because I think that many of us can relate to it. You wrote it, so I want you to know that she doesn't just sing, she also writes. Mm-hmm. Tell us what inspired that song.
Sorry, that's so funny. I just had an image in my mind. The song is me. The song is called Can't Give You a Try. And it's a remix of SZA's Give Me a Try. And I was just linking up with these guys from the UK, and I asked for them to send me some beats with like an old time. That's, guys, I'm an oldies fan all day. Whether it's regular dancehall. So I wanted to bring that back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he sent me like 5 different beats, but that was one of them. And when I played it, I was like, wow, he did good with flipping this, but how am I going to do this and do it with wit? Right? Because I want to, I'm saying I'm going to respond to SZA, right? Because, you know, SZA in the song, give me a try, singing out, you know, sounding so vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not normally his thing, but I've been trying to explain, normally a man gets to that place when he realizes he's lost you.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, him one ball. You know, him 5 years, him eye dry all the time. All of a sudden, it wet up now. I'm just confused. Like, who is this guy? You know, and I'm out the door. You know, and I left like 5 months before, but you're just seeing it now. Okay, cool. So I was like, how do I do this without making it sound sad? I was like, guys, woman empowerment is our thing. You know, this is what we're on to know. It's women's running things now. So I'm not trying to make no sad song. I'm making a song like, you know, this isn't exciting, but I'm good. Yeah. So I don't know. The melody just came. Oh, real niggas, what I want. I was like, okay, and it just flowed out of me. But it came out that way because, like a week or so before, like, you know, I was triggered by someone, and everything I said in the song is like what I said. But I felt like, yeah, but you just ever reach it yet? Like, in the moment, you never say everything you want to say. I hate when that happens. So in that moment, I was like, I'm gonna put everything in the tune I did not get to say, right? And I'm gonna say everything right now. And that's what the song was. But it was like therapy. I did the song and I left it. I didn't listen back to the song for months. It was not a single. I was choosing the track list for my album. This song was not a chosen single. Honestly, it was just a moment for me to have a little therapy, a little music. And then I ended up connecting with SZA's son, and we were just playing tunes for each other. And I was like, I have a song, but I'm not sure if you'll. He's like, why? I was like, honestly, I remixed your dad's song. And he's like, which one? Give me a try. And I was like, how'd you know? He's like, it's the most remix. Like, it's my father's like most remix song. And I'm like, okay, here we go, fine. And I played it, and he was just like nodding. In my head, I was like, I want like him like guitar. He's like, no, this is bad, and it would have more bad if my father heard it. So I was like, whoa, okay. Are you sure that's gonna be okay with him? He's like, no man, him I gonna love this. I was like, you sure? He's like, yeah. He say, yeah, shoot a video, and it'd be dope if he's in the video too. And I'm saying to myself, this brother here, I like, no, he's gassing me, no way. He's like, no, for real. And I was like, so if I can shoot a video tomorrow, you're telling me we can go to his studio? And he's like, yeah, let's work on that. That was in the daytime, like around 3, 4. In the nighttime, I got a call from his son. His name is Meloku, big up to you. And he's like, hold on, for my dad. And he comes on the phone, Mr. Miguel, like so soft, like so, hello, good night. Like, you're like, hi. He's like, hey, can you just please send over that song to me? I want to hear it. Sure. Send over the song. So I'm like, well, I'm in the clear. Tutu's the man message me and say, all right, so this song is nice, but we really like some of the lines in there. So I'm like, all right, what lines you don't like? Him say, what you mean about you and the man them? So there's a part of the song where I say, I'm home, like basically crying, and you and your man friend them gone out. You know, man love them man friend, right? The man said, no man to me thing, take that out. Nope. The man said, no. The man said, the song is nice, but that part has to go. And I said, really? I said, you don't have man friends? No, I don't. I said, okay, sir. Yes. Then him say, and then this next part where you say, you don't need me. Like, why you this up? This song says a love song. So I said, sir, you're begging back the person. And I'm acting like I'm the person, and I'm telling you that I don't need you. Like, you spoke for the men. I'm speaking for the women. So if I want you, just I'm have to go change a couple lines. I said, Jesus God. My like say, yo, just we could just shoot the video, you can do the changes after. Fine, no problem. So 2 days later, I called up big director Rachelle, big up yourself, and I was like, Rachelle, can you shoot that video? Sizzla is gonna be in it. He's like, yo, let's go. So we shoot the video and we go around to August Town. The man comes into the studio. We came with the whole crew, by the way. And he walks in, guys, and he shook each of us, blessed us up, and thanked us for coming to his studio. And him look at me and say, my girl, hey, diss me up sending the song. And I was like, sir, I told you, isn't this? I'm just responding to you. So him play it on the big speaker, bucket and the bass. And we're in it like, yeah. And then they go, and you are the man, them. Just, that part I keep my body. It's have to go. It's have to take out. I was like, sir, you got it. I will change it. I promise. And then he goes, why are you telling me you don't need me? And I said, sir, with all the change your man them, I'm not changing that part. I said, because you need to understand that women, we want you guys, but we really don't need you.
Yeah.
Facts. And I have to say that to someone because that's really the truth.
Mm-hmm.
He said, okay. He didn't even argue. He said, okay.
That's
and I
awesome.
made the changes. He was in he vibed out in the studio with us. I made the change. I sent it to him. He approved it. And I was like, I had a whole other single with a whole other video. I was like, let me just throw this one up first. And yeah, that's what it is. Can't give you a try. And I love it.
And where can people see the video now?
The video is on YouTube, guys. YouTube. Okay. If you go on YouTube, type in Tosh Alexander, Can't Give You a Try. It's there. I'd love you to subscribe. If I'm rebuilding my YouTube page, it's a new YouTube page, so I need to build my subscribers. So guys, please, if you could, just sign in and listen, share, and subscribe. And also keep in mind, it's going up on DSPs in the next couple of weeks. So I know everyone is just like, why isn't it on Apple Music or Spotify or those things? We're working on all of that, okay? So just be patient with me. But for right now, it's on YouTube.
Awesome, Tosh. Mm-hmm. This was really a great. I'm so glad you were able to join us tonight.
Thank you.
It was great. As someone said earlier in the comments, I'm here for the gems, and you definitely dropped a lot of gems in this interview tonight. So we're so proud of you, and we're so excited to see all the things that will be happening. Your Savage Fenty brand ambassadorship in the future.
Don't laugh.
In addition to more music.
No, I'm owning it. I'm owning it.
Yes.
And also, guys, I want to say this to you, because I wasn't really trying to do it like overdo it because she's a part of the panel right here. But I want to say this, for those of you who don't know, even the people tuning in, Catherine Goodall, is very much a part of my journey in music, like a very big. Like, she's the reason I even signed one of my first deals. Like, she used to print my CDs and send them out to all the people that she knew. Okay. Yes, she let me stay in her bed how much times when I was commuting from school in Miami and lived all in Coral Springs. Okay. Catherine Goodall is very much a part of my journey. And I just want to tell her thank you, and I love her. Okay, because she knows it's been a very long journey for me, and she has always supported. Okay, never wavered. So, I had to love you.
Thank you so much again, Tosh. It was really great having you on Emerge tonight. Guys, don't go anywhere. We have our second emerging entrepreneur on standby, Gabby Glam. So thank you, Tosh.
Thank you for having me, guys. Bye. Bye, Naomi. Bye, Rachelle. Bye, Kathy. Mwah.
Mwah. That was awesome. Is Rachelle. I mean, but at least it stayed with a smile. So guys, that was Tosh Alexander on our emerging entrepreneur segment, and we are going straight into our second emerging entrepreneur. I'm going to see if Rachelle's going to come in to do the intro. Yes, she came in right on time. So let's see if we can get through this intro, Rashi, before we lose you again.
Lord have mercy. Yes. So about 2 years ago now, we had an emerge at it was at AC Marriott, and there was this young lady that came to do our faces. I hadn't met her before. I'd heard about this Gabby Glam. So Kathy's like, Gabby Glam is. I'm like, who's this Gabby Glam? I don't know Gabby Glam. So she comes, and immediately when she approaches us, there's an energy that she has, just this quiet energy that relaxes you. And I was like, I love this girl. Ever since, she would come and she does my makeup all the time. She is the most professional individual.
Yes.
Always on time. So if I'm getting my makeup done at 3, she's actually set up at 2:45. And I remember one day we were talking, and I was talking to her about, things that happened in the past. And I remember she had a reference to something, and I had to say to her, excuse me, Gabby, how old are you, please? And she tell me her age because she's a child. It's a little picnic. Say, technically, me could be a mother and me would not be a bad girl. But you know what happened? Our sessions together have been amazing because Gabby has been one of my big inspirations. This is a very young woman who does not see boundaries. She doesn't see walls. She doesn't see boxes. She sees only opportunities. She has just been progressing with her ideas in this very courageous, professional way that has been such a great influence on me. So a lot of things I'm just like, Gabby would just get up and get this done. Mm-hmm. Gabby would just launch a product. Gabby would just pack up, go to Trinidad and have an entire carnival concert service. When she told me she was doing that, Matty said to her, "You're never afraid. Suppose we teach you down at Trinidad. What do you know about Trinidad?" But she does not see limits. Gabby sees open roads ahead. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this young woman is an entrepreneur. She actually is also a marketer. She is an amazing makeup artist. And her life's journey has been inspired by walking in faith. She continues this path of building the glampire. Gabby's glampire. And Gabby does everything. She starts and she finishes. And she does it with such quiet resolve that you look at this young person and you say, Jamaica is in good hands. The world is in good hands. And when you're seeing the Fenty, when you're seeing the L'Oreal, when you're seeing all of these things, know that you did see her pan emerge. And
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, your lives will never be the same when you have come in the presence of the amazing Gabrielle, Gabby Glam, Waite.
Hi! Oh my gosh, Rachelle, that was such a amazing intro. Thank you so much.
I feel like Russia
Right.
needs to be the one to kick off Gabby's segment just in events. Going good now. So just keep the momentum going, Rushy.
True, Roshi. You just go ahead.
No, it's like, Gabby, I know, like, our people are seeing you and they're like, who is this young lady that's on?
Mhm.
And your life is not long time you're upon the earth, so it has not been a long journey. But if you could just tell us a little bit about where this impetus for Gabby Glam has come and the influence that your mother has had on where you are now. Tell us about Gabby.
Okay, well, fortunately, I was one to grow up with both parents, my mom and my dad, who I really think has played a huge role and has set like a solid foundation for me. And I went to Wilmer's pre-prep and high. And I really think that if they had a university, I would have been there as well. Because I always said that I bleed maroon and gold. And I think that the motto, Age Quad Geese, which means whatever you do, do it well. I think that just by being there throughout my entire childhood, that has really stuck with me in my subconscious. So it never mattered how small something was that I was doing. I always made sure that I would do it to the best of my abilities and just excel or try and do my very best at whatever it is that I was going to do. And I studied banking and finance and marketing, but it's so funny because growing up, I never really was interested in becoming a makeup artist or being an entrepreneur or just even, being a marketer. Growing
Yeah.
up, I always wanted to be a corporate girl. I was inspired by my aunt who was in the corporate world and she was the CEO of a major company. And just seeing her, I wanted to be just like her. So I initially, when I had to select my subjects, I selected the business courses because that was what she selected. When I went into university, I actually, in the first year, I selected banking and finance because that was what she did. But then she spoke to me and she said, Gabby, I really think you should take on marketing. And I was just like, did you do marketing? And she said, no. I said, so why am I doing that marketing? Because I want to be just like you. So if you didn't do it, why am I going to do it? And she just said, Gabby, I really think that you'll enjoy it. And I think that it's your calling. So I said, all right, I'll do it. And I started it. And that same period, I was doing banking and finance and marketing. And I came along meeting Christopher Nunes, who was the founder of UCA. And he introduced me to the company and he basically wanted me to become one of his account executives there. And we had to have a meeting with himself and the director of UCA. And that was actually how I met Catherine. I don't know if she remembers, but that was the day I actually met Catherine
At Hope Gardens. I will never
at
forget.
Hope Gardens. At Hope Gardens. That was actually how I met Catherine. And the director was just, asking each person who Christopherson had recruited to just say, what is it that you want to be growing up? So I obviously told him I wanted to be a corporate girl in finance. I wanted to be the CEO of, I think at the time I said like Scotiabank or something like that. And he looked at me and he just said, that's not what you want. That's not what you're going to be. And to be honest, I was very vexed about that. Because I'm just like, who are you? I don't know you. You don't know me. And he's telling me what I am going to be. I was just like, excuse you? And then he said, you're not going to be the CEO of Scotiabank. You're going to be the CEO of your own company. When he said that, I was just like, I know somebody still.
That's not our boy.
I said, okay. okay. I said, okay. And just being a part of that space, I really met a supportive family. I call them my UCA family that has really guided me in terms of being exposed to marketing and learning how to write proposals and everything. And it was through them that I actually started. They were the ones who also actually pushed me into doing makeup as well, because there was an offer for a makeup artist that was needed, because at UCA they find jobs for university students and they need a makeup artist for a specific client. And I was just like, I think I can do this, because growing up my mom was a makeup artist and I would actually be on the road with her when she's on her jobs. I would assist her when she needed. And, she would teach me a few stuff. So I was able to just assist her. And I said, you know what? I think I can be the makeup artist for this job. And I called my mom and I was like, Mommy, I think I'm going to take on this, but I really need you to just teach me the ropes, because I mean, I know a little, but I really need you to just teach me everything that I need to know. And she was the one who taught me. And I went on the job and she was actually with me, and I actually started with her makeup kit. So I did the girls and it came out well. The client was pleased. And I was just like, I really think that this is something that I can continue doing. And I told the director of UCA and my UCA family about it. And they were just like, oh my gosh, yes, Gabby, you need to go and you need to do it. And I told my friends and they were all for it as well. And I said, okay. And it was just about trying to figure out what I would want to name it. And just being a part of this marketing agency and just understanding the importance of branding and everything, I was just like, you know what? I think I've created a Gabby Glam brand, because Gabby Glam was my Instagram name before. And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to keep it. And when I was creating the Instagram handle, the name of everything, I was just like, I really need to think ahead. I don't want it to be just something that is just going to be for now. I want to think, will it still be effective in the long run? So that was why I actually named it. The Instagram name is Gabby Glam Co. And the Co was really short for cosmetics, but no one knew that. Most people just thought it was company, but I always knew that I wanted to have a cosmetic line. So just having the name Gabby Glam Co. as the Instagram name was always just like that reminder. And that was my long-term goal. So I always had set the precedence from the get-go that, okay, this is where it's going to go. This is what I want. So I said, okay, let's just put Gabby Glam Co. for now. So that was really how it all started. And it's so funny because, growing up, I was inspired by my aunt, but it just turned out that I was really inspired by my mom this whole time. Yeah.
Massive is online, right? Share is on, God is on.
Yes!
Others that we want to not name are on. Gabby, your director.
I know.
Oh, that's so one.
Renee, everybody's is
yes.
on. With you have always maintained you have your employed life and you have your entrepreneurial life. And for those persons who are watching you and are saying to themselves, how does Gabby do all of these various things? It must be because she's young and she does have a whole heap of energy. But what is it? What is in your value system and how you operate that just keeps you going? And one of the things you always do is you don't turn up half-hearted. You show up every time. What is it about you that causes this?
To be honest, before I started the 9 to 5, I always said I will have a 9 to 5, but I will not have a 9 to 5 mentality. There's a difference right there, because I said this is going to be, it's not going to hold me back. It's going to push me forward. It's going to help my business. So just when I was working, when I started my 9 to 5, I was just like, okay, this is going to help to reinvest into my business. This will allow me to network and meet people. So going to work, when my boss would have meetings, I will always ask if I can be a part of those meetings. Anytime they had any major events with some really big people that are going to be there, I was just like, hey, can I come? Or I just offer to be a part of that project, to meet persons, because that was my goal, to meet people, to get clients that will help me to fund my business and will benefit my business. So even though they're hiring me to do something, I'm making sure that I get something in return. So that was always the mindset that I have. And I feel like even through that, that was how I was able to meet Novia McDonald. That was how I was able to actually start being one of the makeup artists for Terry Carell. Because I always said that I'm going in there with something to take. They're not just gonna, I'm going to give myself, but I'm gonna make sure that I get something as well.
Yeah.
So that was the mentality that I had, and that's the mentality that I have to this day. Because I mean, it's great to have your own business, but you need to be able to learn. You know, it's important to observe and learn. And the thing is that, remember, growing up, I wanted to be the CEO of a corporate company, and the director, who is now my mentor, was just like, you're going to be the CEO of your own company. So how can I be a CEO? I need to learn to see how the business operates. What is it that they're doing? What is it that the finance department is doing? What is it that the marketing department is doing? What is it that they're doing that I can put into my business to be able to become a corporate company? Because I can be the CEO of a corporate company, which is my company. So that was just the mindset that I always had, and that's the mindset that I continue to have. So even though people are just like, you know, working a 9 to 5 is just like a slave job. No, you're just having a slave mentality. So change the mentality, and then changing the perspective, you will enjoy going through it more, because now it's more, what can you learn today? You know, and what can you learn to put into your business to make your business grow? So I think that is something that always keeps me going.
So I just need to. How old are you?
24.
24.
I'll be 25
right?
this year.
So first of all, I'm seeing your whole crew here. I see Chelsea, I see Rachelle,
Yes.
I see Christine, K-Boys on, Sabrina, Opal. There's so many, right? So we can't even big up everybody right now. But I'm just listening to you, and where would you have gotten this mindset, this attitude to just like step out and just take what is yours, what you think rightfully belongs to you? Because I'm listening to you, and that mindset that you speak of, that's what people my age are trying to do right now, right? So where would you, as this young 24-year-old mogul, as your friend said, I saw someone say magic makeup, all kinds of words to describe you, where would you have gotten this mindset from? Do you read? Do you have mentors? You mentioned a couple. What is it you think has helped to contribute to help it making you this person?
So I do have a mentor that I appreciate, I love so much, but I also have such an amazing support system, and I feel like my friends have that same mentality. These are the type of discussions that we have. So they always push me, and then just even the we have a lot of intellectual conversations, and people always say, like, how old are you guys? You guys don't talk like your age group, but I think it has a lot to do with the person that I surround myself with. That has really helped me to grow and to have that mentality, because it's really important for you to have that tribe that will push you and encourage you. And that's what that's how my friends are. We always support and encourage each other. And my
Don't worry, guys. She'll be back.
At the right time.
Do this all night.
You see,
And I was obviously about to say something profound.
You froze, Gabby. You froze. You froze.
Oh wow, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't remember. My mentor and my friends and my parents. I mean, they have their tribe of friends as well that are always just encouraging me and even just giving me words of wisdom. And especially my dad, that is what he's known for, his encouraging words of wisdom. Sometimes I will just be down. I'll just march up to my room because I'm having an off day, and he'll just come in and he'll just pray for me, and I instantly feel better, you know? So I really feel like it's just the person that I surround myself with that just keep me going, keep pushing me, and offering me words of encouragement. And obviously, when you have amazing people like that around you, I don't think you can really go wrong. So,
Wow. Gabby, that's impressive. You know, they say a lot of people have these wishes to do things, right? I want to be at this, I want to be at that. And they say a goal without a plan is just a wish. But you obviously have literally planned out this journey to your glam pile, and it's super impressive. You know, we're so proud of you, you know, and we give you a lot of, I wouldn't say trouble, but when you do our as far as stuff, I mean, I'm sure we're your most entertaining clients.
Okay.
But of course, we always have to get the Rachelle and yes, but you do an amazing job. So I know you'll continue to work with us all the time.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure working with you guys and just to even be a part of this space because it's so funny because I'm usually behind the scenes.
You are usually behind the scenes.
For you webinars. I know I'm in the space with you and it really means a lot. Thank you so much.
We need to take the time to big up your parents again, Gabby.
Oh my gosh. No.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm screaming with these comments, right?
Listen, first of all, Gabby's parents, you would think are her sister and her brother, right? Let's just put it out there. You would never believe that they're her parents, right?
Yeah, they're always so present. Even when I was sick today, my dad was with me. My mommy's making sure the background is fine, making sure that my clothes is right, everything. They're just always super supportive, and they're always like, "Okay, Gabby."
And very welcoming when we're going to our house at 5 a.m. to do our makeup.
Yep.
So Gabby, I have a question, right? Because you know that I'm going to ask about the personal brand. And you built this glam pile, you're building this glam pile, you've built this brand already, you know, Gabby Glam. How important is that for you, your own? And is there a separation? Do you think there's a separation between Gabrielle and Gabby Glam?
No, I actually don't because I am my brand. My brand represents me. So it's so funny because now persons will call me Gabby Glam or, you know, because it really represents me. And I always just try to, you know, when they see you, they see a brand and people just label you instantly. So it's always important to see you and anything that you're going to do, make sure it's authentic to you and what you believe in. Because you are the face of the brand, you are the ambassador for your company, ambassador for yourself. So it's important that, you know, whatever you're doing, it is 100% you.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And how would you describe your brand?
I think that my brand is classy, sophisticated, yet fun, and effortless as well.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's what you are. Yeah. First of all, I clearly don't have your number stored as Gabrielle anything in my phone. It's Gabby Glam.
Yeah. It's Gabby Glam. Yeah, and you know, it's funny because one of the things I always say as a makeup artist, because you are an artist, so you are creating, and it's always amazing. So even when you're doing the three of us, three very different personalities, but you immediately just have a healthy respect for what everybody wants. You know, you take us a little bit over the edge. You don't have to worry about me, because you know when we turn up, you don't want to.
Right, she starts with the basic, and then she
Right,
goes,
exactly.
I'm not sitting down here to get to recognize myself. No,
That's
I
exactly
want to be like, who's that? Who that?
Sorry,
You know?
the least person who don't even want lashes. That's Catherine.
Yeah.
I'm in between. Like, I want a little lash, right? But I don't want the dramatic.
Yeah.
And then Rachelle is just like,
We can't see
here.
it.
It's like, as she said, she don't want to recognize herself.
Yeah.
But she finished.
But you know what? One of the things that I admire so much about how you operate, and you are in the service industry. You are not trying to make it Gabby's glam. When you're finished, the person is glammed and
Yeah.
glammed in a way that they feel beautiful, they feel like themselves. And it's I find sometimes some service providers don't understand it's not about you, it is about your client.
Exactly. So
Let you know that kind of ethic. Tell us about that part of the business.
for me, it's always important when I'm about to start somebody, especially for the very first time. I always ask them, just to get to know them and what it is that they like. If they're a person that wears makeup a lot, or if they don't. And for me, as you said, I'm always about pleasing them. So I don't want you to leave until you are pleased. So I'll let you look at the look. If it's a case where you don't like it, or you probably don't want to have too much lashes, I'm like, okay, no problem, we'll tone it down. If it's a case where you probably don't like the eye look, you want to probably go more subtler. You're not leaving until you're pleased. And I think that when you're offering a service, it's important for you to be able to understand people and know that you're going to be dealing with different personalities, and you have to be very patient.
Yes.
You'll have somebody who you're just going to come across different personalities, so you really have to be able to be patient, and because you'll never really know what that person is really going to be like, so you just have to be patient and just communicate with them and kind of get to know them and let them feel comfortable, because they're paying you to they're paying you to feel confident and to feel good within themselves. So while I'm talking to them, I'm complimenting them about the different features that they probably have that they haven't even noticed about themselves.
Right.
Just complimenting that feature that they have, and not taking away from that, but just complimenting it and making them feel amazing.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that is my goal. So when you get up, you're just like, oh my God, Gab, I love my face. I don't want to take it off. That's what I want to achieve. So if you get up and you're not like Rachelle and you're like, oh my God. I'm going to be like, do you like it? Do you want to change anything? You want to change it? You want to, and you're not leaving until you're cool.
Honestly, though, we've talked about Gabby and Gabby Glam, and we talked about everybody by now knows that you're a makeup artist, right? And that you're our emerged makeup artist. But Gabby, you have several. At 24, you are the CEO of several businesses, and so you need to break down for us all of the businesses that you have. And I do have my Gabby Glam lip collection.
You couldn't tell me Catherine to go get mine out of my handbag.
I got mine yesterday.
Oh,
Rachelle have had yours for quite some time. Yeah.
Rachelle and I we had our session a couple weeks ago.
Listen, talk about the details, right? So tell us, Gabby, about all of your businesses. So you have GlamCon. Tell us what GlamCon is. Tell us about your website and the courses that you offer on your website. Tell us, Rachelle is showing off hers too.
Guys, this is really awesome. It's okay.
Go ahead, Gabby. Don't be distracted by us.
Okay, so Gabby Glam is the makeup part of it, mainly specializing in soft, effortless glam looks. I also have Carnival Glam Hub, which started in 2018, and Carnival Glam Hub. What we do is we get persons glam for Carnival. So we offer services from makeup to hair to barbers to shuttle services, almost anything that you can think of that you need to get ready for Carnival. And we started it in Jamaica in 2018. Then we went to Trinidad. We went to Barbados, and then we went to Trinidad. And it has just blown up. The response has just been so amazing, because this was something that the market really needed. Just at one-stop shop that was available at all the different carnivals, which is our end goal to be at every single carnival there is, and to just offer the service that we have. I have an amazing team. A part of that team where I did makeup on herself, and obviously we have an extension, and obviously the UCA family is just a part of everything that I do a part of my business, they're always just so supportive and there, not to mention my friends and my family. So we have that, and we also have GlamCon, which is basically a space to celebrate the world of beauty across the Caribbean. So it gives a platform for persons within the beauty industry to expose themselves and to exhibit the products that they have, the products and services that they have to offer, but to also network with an international audience as well, because we do bring down persons who are from internationally, who are in that beauty industry, so that they can actually guide them and train them, and that they can be exposed to, how to get to their level. Because I mean, we had
stop a second, because you need to explain to people the types of brands that you bring to from the international market to train locally. You make sure you highlight those brands.
Wait, so that's again, sorry.
People need to understand that when you say, sometimes people say, oh, we bring an international speaker, and they don't understand the concept of it.
So we brought for 2018, we brought down Baby, who was one of the makeup artists for Cardi B and Chris Brown and Nicki Minaj. So she came down and she did a whole tutorial explaining, and even just showing, explaining what her experience was like working with these artists and what she did to get to that space. And it's so funny because a lot of these persons have now connected with her that were in that space. The next year, we brought up, and not to mention, we had Rush and Kenny, who also hosted it for the first year, which was so amazing and was so. And in the next year, which was, I believe, 2019, we had Ikachi, who was the ambassador for Juvia's Place, which is a huge makeup brand that is just well known and it's just perfect for women of color. So she came down and she was really she did a whole master class showing her tips and tricks and her techniques, and really just connecting with the different persons, the different exhibitors in that space. And she just guided them. And some of them exchanged numbers, and I think she also actually connected one of the exhibitors with Juvia's Place. One of the exhibitors was the Beat Placemates 876, which is one of a good friend of mine. I know that she had connected her to Juvia's Place, and now I think Brittany also gets she's somewhat of an ambassador there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of connections that have been made at GlamCon so far. So that is one of the aims that we try to do at GlamCon. And obviously with Carnival Glam Hub, we went to Trinidad, and we're now in a space where we can mix with persons across the region, because once you go to Trinidad Carnival, that's where you really are able to connect with different persons within that carnival space.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's crazy of the amount of persons who are coming to us and reaching out to us to partner with us, and it has really just exposed the brand and heightened the awareness of the brand even more. But my last brainchild that I have created and conceptualized is my collection
On display.
collection.
Now available at Fontana Pharmacy.
Sunny Island Supplies in Gabrielle. It's also on my website. So I also offer makeup. Yes, Rachelle. I also offer makeup courses on my site, but I also do now offer my lip collection, which are cruelty-free and vegan, that you can purchase online, or you can get it at Fontana in Waterloo or Merrimero, or you can also get it at Sunnyside Island in Negril.
Gabby, your fans are asking what about the lash line?
Girls, it's coming, guys. It's coming. Stay tuned.
No, in the midst of COVID last year, I was doing an online session. So Gabby comes to do my makeup. So I said, Gabby, how is it going with COVID? So she's like, the carnival get packed and people are actually doing less makeup and so on. But you know what she says? I've realized what a great opportunity to get my line actually done, because now I have the time to
Yes.
get the marketing done. She did not skip a beat. She's like, maybe I needed COVID to get this part, get it going, because I was busy with all of these other things. And I sat there and I just thought again, every time Gabby sees opportunity. And in the midst of a pandemic, she launches her makeup line. Hello. Hello.
That's a true entrepreneur, always looking for the opportunity.
Yes.
Thanks. It's so
But
funny.
it goes back to that mindset that she talked about earlier, and perspective.
Yeah. And she's still getting projects. We just did a shoot last week Sunday, right, Gabby? For one of my
Yep, and it was so much fun.
yeah.
Saying that is so funny because in 2020, because I believe in doing vision boards. I actually have mine right up right there right now. So it's as I wake up, that's the first thing I see. And in 2020, once on my vision board, so I had a picture of a cosmetic line on the board, but it was also on the board the year before.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that was on the board was the word reset for 2020. Not knowing, it's so funny because I just put it there, not really knowing, And COVID happened, which was my reason, and just the opportunity to be able to just continue doing the cosmetic line, because I started it the year before, but because of the different distractions and just trying to get Carnival Glam and Glam Fan up and running, I didn't really have the time to focus on it as much as I wanted to. But then 2020 happened, and it was just the perfect time to just be laser focus on just executing it and getting it done. And I remember when I was trying to continue the process of lifting it off the ground, I prayed about it, and I said to myself, okay, I know it's gonna come with challenges. I know it's probably there's certain expectations that you have that it's probably not gonna go your way. But I said, God has a plan, and I'm gonna go with His plan. And I'm not gonna be flustered, because at the end of the day, He has a plan. He knows what's best, and I'm just gonna work with the plan. And that is exactly what I did. And that was really what inspired the name of the collection, the names of the glosses, just the experience and journey of life, and just the experience and journey of the whole process of creating the collection itself.
Yes.
So it was definitely a journey. There is a lot of uncertainty, especially because of COVID and the fact that I'm doing lip glosses. And at first, okay, yes, I was doing the glasses. I said, okay, fine. COVID is there, but at the time, it wasn't mandatory for us to wear masks. So I was just like, okay. And then it came on for us to just wear masks everywhere we go. And I'm just like, really? Really, God? Does this mean I'm supposed to stop? And it's just like He said, nope. When God gives you a purpose, there is just like this hunger that will let you just continue no matter what on that. And you'll just keep going. And I said, you know what? I know that there are going to be obstacles along the way, but I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm just going to work with your time, and I'm just not going to get done. Because initially, I wanted to launch in December. I remember I was telling my friends, I'm just like, guys, it's coming out in December. I wanted to launch in December because, that I remember I think I was sharing it with you guys as well, because I'm just like, that perfect time, because that's when it's probably buying power.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, man, we're launching it in December. And I felt like God was just laughing at me, and it was just like, I'm launching in December, but I have other plans.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember,
What's the name of the line, Gabby?
it's called Sela Lip Collection. Faith, Celeste, and Blessed. And I remember I was just like, why can't I launch it in December, God? Like, why are you holding me back? I don't get it. And it's like He said to me, even though, yes, that's the best time, you think that's the best time to launch it, but I'm going to show you that with you believing me and with me guiding you, even if you launch it in January, if you launch in February, it will still sell off. So I had started with 300 glossies and I launched it January 6th. And within 2 weeks, I had to be going to stores to asking them back for some of the glossies because I didn't have it.
Wow.
And I was just like, wow, God. Because I remember I was telling my aunt that, oh my God, I can't launch it until January. And she's just like, geez, I'm Gabby. January time, people don't have no money. Then spend off their money in January, in December. How are you going to be able to sell it off? And it was really God that really just made that happen.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celeste is a winner.
Celeste is actually my middle name.
Oh, I love it. My favorite.
Yes, Celeste is my middle name. I even actually had to pray about what is it that I really wanted to name the different glossies. I remember I had the testers in my hand and I said, okay, it's time for me to figure out a name for them. And I went in the car and I went back inside and I grabbed the glossies and I went in the car and I held them in my hand and I was driving. I was driving to Ligoni Jurgen Garden. And I remember I was driving and I said, all right, God, we need to come up with a name. We need to come up with a name. What are we going to call them? Instantly, Celeste was one. It's so funny because growing up, I never really liked my middle name. And out of nowhere, I just started to just embrace it and I started to love it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to name one of the glosses Celeste. And it was just to figure out the other two names. And I said, okay, Gabby, what you want it to be about the journey of the gospel, but you also want it to be about the journey of yourself.
Yes.
And one of my friends, Renee, always said, girl, your faith game is so strong. She always said that. And I just knew I just like, okay, it just came out of my mouth. It was just like faith, Celeste, and bliss. Just like that. And I was just like, oh, out of nowhere, not even much thought. It was just faith, Celeste, and bliss. And I said, that's what it's going to be. And that was it. And that same day, it was my cousin's birthday. And I was on the phone with her. And I was just, I was just catching up with her. And she was asking me, how the collection was going. And I said, well, I have the names, but I need to come up with the name of the collection. And we were backing and forth. And she was just like, Gabby, I have a name for you. And she's like, I always have this name in mind, but I never really shared it because I want to name my child that. First of all, this girl is like 23. And when you have a special name, you want to keep it to yourself.
Yes.
Right. So she's like, I have a name, but I really think that this is what you should really call the collection. And she said, Sila. I was just like, I like that. And then we started to Google, what it means and everything. And it really just summed up the names and the whole process and the journey and everything that really summarizes what the whole collection is about. And I also felt like that was just God saying, here, give her this name.
Yeah.
So it was just, crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Gabby, we have Gabby Glam, we have GlamCon, we have Glam Hub, and now we have the cosmetic line, right?
Yep. That's right.
I mean, even though you're only 24, your entrepreneurial journey has been very extensive in a very short space of time. So for emerging entrepreneurs, what are 2 or 3 lessons or takeaways that you think every entrepreneur should get or have or know going into their journey?
I think it's very important to talk to God and find out what it is your purpose is. Because it's not until you find out what your purpose is, then the saying, just do it. That is when it really falls into play, because there is never really a perfect time to do anything in life, so you just have to work with the perfect time and do it now. But it's really important to figure out what it is that your purpose is, because you can decide that, okay, I want to start selling shoes, but that's really not your purpose. And even though you'll go about just doing it and you do it and you go through the process and everything, it's not fulfilling to you. So, and I feel like, so the moment when you figure out what your purpose is, you feel that sense of fulfillment and you have that drive and hunger to just keep going. and you will be able to just do it, and things will just start to fall into place.
Yes.
I feel like it's really important to pray and ask God to guide you and figure out to know what your purpose is, to then know that you can do it and you can start.
Yeah.
The moment you know what your purpose is and you feel like, there's this energy inside of you, there's this feeling inside of you that you just have the strength to just keep pushing no matter what obstacle comes your way.
Yeah.
So I really feel like just staying rooted and anchored in that celestial being, I think that's also just really important, because there's so many persons who are successful,
Yes.
but then you hear that, or you think they're successful, and then you hear that they commit suicide. Because they're really not happy. And I think that peace of mind is just super important as well.
Yeah.
And once you have that connection with God, you start to have this peace of mind, and because you're always just turning to Him for guidance. So
Yes.
I really think that peace of mind, communicating to God and figuring out what your purpose is, and then going ahead and then just doing it
Taking action.
and just taking action.
I love it. I love it. And I love all of this for you, Gabby. This is really amazing.
Yeah. And Gabby's what comes with the lip gloss collection. Hey Glam Girl, thank you for your support. I'm so excited to share my very first lip collection with you. Inspired by life's journey of walking by faith and the celestial power within, you too will discover blessings along the way. It's your journey, own it. It is so beautiful.
Beautiful.
Gabby, thank you so much.
Can we talk about her hype squad?
No, can we talk? Like,
Can we talk about her hype squad here in the comments?
how her name is
Oh,
pronounced?
girl, I love my friends.
And Chelsea are like
The whole family.
it's like your hype squad. Yo, Chelsea and Sharjah, I need them is like some hype squad.
Cher has me dying over here. Like I have to try and block out Cher because I will literally bust out.
No, she something that I need.
Cher are like
Sharjah is like, are we at a Beatles concert? Cause you're so good.
My friends are so amazing. I think I have the best support system. I remember somebody DM'd me, and they were just like, Gabby, I have a question to ask you. Do you ask persons to share stuff whenever you have a new project or anything? And I'm just like, I rarely do. They just do. I just have a great support system that will just, I don't have to tell them anything. They'll just instantly just start sharing and reposting.
Yeah.
And they're just truly, 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 truly amazing. I love them so, so much.
Gabby, where
Awesome.
can people find
And
you?
they clearly love you too. Very, very much.
So where can people find you, Gabby?
You can find me on Instagram, Gabby Glam _Gabby Glam. As my personal page, Gabby Glam Co. is the makeup business page. Carnival Glam Hub, GlamCon, or GabbyGlamCosmetics.com.
And on Gabby Glam Cosmetics, you can get her tutorials, you can get her product line, you can get everything you want.
Book everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everything is awesome.
I don't have the song where Catherine have is what? Eyeshadows?
Wow, why are they so bad mine? It's the same thing that you have. I just got mine after you, okay?
Oh, I just want to make sure St. Catherine don't have something that I don't have.
No, because my packaging still look brand new because I got it yesterday. Don't be a hater, okay?
Yeah, my packaging
Don't
cannot
be a
be
hater.
new because it's funny with the lip glosses because you can't wear lipstick. It's so easy to just have it with me and just get some lip gloss on and you jump in on
The best lip gloss. And it stays, it's just right texture. It's really, really nice.
Yep.
And Gabby, me ready for my lash them, cause you know, say my love my lash them.
Coming soon.
No, everybody's talking about how poised Gabby is, and this is Cher.
Her royal glamness. Talk about it. No, I think Gabby, for anybody who tonight they met you for the first time, there was nothing but goose pimples. Because you make all of us have to kind of stop, think about our own purpose, think about the things that we have been holding back on because of fear, but also your humility in acknowledging the tribe that you have, the amazing parental support from your mother and your father praying with you, and the power of prayer and your own faith. And I'm saying, wow, wow, Gabby. And guys, you're gonna be seeing Gabby all over the world. And know that you saw her on Detour
And let
Essentials.
me tell you that her mom has a group of prayer warriors there that, let me tell you, without fail, I know for
Let
facts.
me tell you about, okay, so let me tell you, it's so funny because my parents love me so much, love me to death. They're always very present, right? But you know when your parents love you to the point where they don't want to see you mess up. So I remember when I was working on Carnival Glam Hub, I never told them about it. I was just planning it, and it wasn't until closer to the stage, my mother knew everything. She always knew what happening. Hey, Gabby, what's this Carnival Glam Hub thing I see going on? What is that? So I sat my mom and my dad, and I just started to tell them, what it is. And then they started asking me questions like, okay, but where are you getting the money from? How are you funding this? And I'll just I'll be able to give them a response for each thing. And then they're just like, okay, so it seems like she knows what she's doing. So then they're just like, all right. And then they just started to come on board and then started to help me with the missing pieces that I was missing out. And I did the same thing for GlamCon. The first time GlamCon was when I was doing GlamCon. I didn't tell my parents about it either. I just started planning it, and then when it reaches to a certain point, I will tell them, because I know that if I probably tell them no, they're gonna be like, "But Gabby, how are you going to find the money? How are people gonna come? How are you going to market it?" And I in my head, I was just like, I didn't want that for them to just kind of be like, for me to kind of second guess and just not do it. And because I knew how they were, I said, let me just do most of the stuff first, and then when everything is sorted out, I'll just tell them. That way I can't get out of it. I can't back out. And I did that, and I set the dates and marketed and everything. And then I ready to tell my parents no, and I told them, and mommy goes, I'm not even going to be here, because she had a trip with her friends to go to Cuba for that time was having GlamCon. And can I tell you, you would, even though she was not there, you think that she was there. She called up her friend them and her tribe, and everybody had a responsibility.
Wow.
In Cuba at that time, you can't get no Wi-Fi. No, I don't know how she find it. She find the Wi-Fi, and everything she calling them. You get this, get that, this is that, sourcing them out everything. So even though she was not physically there, she was there. And and so she has her group of friends who always support me as well. And she has her tribe with her ready, and she always makes sure that everything is in place.
Yes.
So big up to mommy for that.
So I see in the comments, everybody's like, why does it sound like you guys are wrapping up? Guys, it's almost 10 o'clock. We've been going to
They're like, Gabby need a part two.
maybe we need to have a part 2, right?
Gabby, thank you so much. I mean, now everybody understands why we had to have you. You inspire us daily. We are so proud of you, and we're so happy to be on this journey with you.
Yes.
It makes me stop to think about what I was doing at 24, because I feel like I wasted half my life now. But we're so grateful, and we know that there's only greater to come. Guys, we said it already, but we're going to say it again. She is the Emerge makeup artist. We don't use
officially the
She's
Emerge.
our official makeup artist, because she's the only one that can manage all three of us with no complaints, right? We book our shoots around Gabby. If Gabby's not available, we will move the date.
But Gabby, we are so super proud of you. Thank you. And we just really look forward to whatever else you have in store. I know Rush is really excited about the lashes. She's a lash queen. And I know you'll have something for everybody, even Catherine, who is not a fan of these things.
No. Anytime
we're into that space.
I always have her customized lashes for Catherine. Always.
Say that again for them, Gabby, so they know how special I am, right? I have customized lashes.
She has her own customized lashes.
So that they're short and probably are the same length as my regular lashes. Gabby,
Oh my God. Can you please highlight what Renee just said on the chat? First of all, we would have break curfew long time. It's 10 o'clock.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, and Nicholas Dodd says I have VIP tickets for episode 2 and they're going hot to link up. No, so even Gabby friend them are some entrepreneurs, they're like
it's a serious thing. I actually think that we need to. Gabby's friends are literally all entrepreneurs. They all have their own businesses, and they're all thriving entrepreneurs. They're not.
So maybe we need to have another emerging entrepreneur session with the Gabby crew.
No, every single one of my friends, they all have something going for them, which is why I was saying that the conversations that we have are just completely different. I remember one time we were at AC Hotel and we were talking, and somebody came over to us and was just like, "Excuse me, how old are you guys?" Because we were talking about these, having some conversation, and I'm just like, wow. But yeah, every single one of my friends, they all have something going for them, and we're all just always just so supportive of each other, and we're always pushing each other to do better, and just supporting any way that we can.
Wow. Well, on Emerge, we always talk about the importance of having your circle of genius, and obviously that's what you have in your friends. So that's really awesome. All right, guys.
Okay, guys, we really are going. You can catch us next week, Wednesday, same time, 8 o'clock. On all our platforms, you can follow us at Ready to Emerge. Follow, like, subscribe, share. I mean, everybody here loved Gabby's interview, so share it with everybody. People can watch it again
put it on YouTube.
YouTube.com/Ready to Emerge. Easy to find. And thank you so much for spending your Wednesday evening with us, Gabby. We are looking forward to so many more exciting things. So for the part 2, and by the way, Nick, share all of you for your information. Gabby is very, very intentional about the time that she spends, right? So when she's ready to do the part 2, we will do the part 2. When she's launching the lashes, we'll do the part 2. Okay?
Yeah, we have to do like a makeup tutorial for the part 2.
Yes, that's what we need to do.
Send their website to go and pay for the makeup tutorial.
But Catherine, she can do like a little teaser that will get people excited, and then she can offer a special, and then they will purchase a tutorial. Right, Gabby?
Yeah.
Gabby, don't come ahead of commitments. You need to talk to your management. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us.
Love you guys.